Good afternoon, everybody. I am student meteorologist Justin Williams here to give you your North Georgia weather forecast. Behind me here is your current conditions over Athens, Georgia. We're sitting at 92 degrees, dew points well into the 70s with feels like exceeding 100 degrees. That's very much synonymous for most of our region here in North Georgia. That is why we are in a heat advisory here in the southeastern part here. We're sitting in a heat advisory, feels like 95 degrees or more for 3 or more hours. And as well as we could be seeing heat index values up to 106 degrees by the end of all this. So we go west of Atlanta though, and northwest, we can't forget about them as well. They're not in the heat advisory, but they could be seeing heat indexes well into 100 degrees as well. But this is where the bullseye is for some of the hottest heat indexes, especially right here, just a little bit south of Athens. You guys could be seeing those 106 heat index values. But fortunately, there is a break coming here. We do have post-tropical storm Beryl, and it will be affecting us actually, even though it's going to be making its way tracking up towards the Great Lakes. It has the tail of Beryl going all the way down into the Gulf of Mexico here, off into towards New Orleans, and this is actually going to be bringing some showers and thunderstorms into our area by tonight, and it's already starting to impact us very, very far west. Georgia is starting to see some thunderstorms make their way into Georgia here, and parts of North Georgia has a couple spotty showers and downpours. We'll take you into some timing though. Here we go. Some of these storms down here south of Atlanta, you guys could be seeing some severe thunderstorms tonight. We cannot rule those out at all. The available energy for these thunderstorms to tap into is exceedingly high, so I would not be surprised if some of these briefly turn severe with some very gusty winds up to 60 miles per hour and some small hail. You cannot rule that out, especially south of Atlanta. But as we go on into your evening time, they're going to be dying out. That's the thing with these storms. They can't last very long. They can't sustain. They're going to be moving north and dying out and leaving Athens probably mostly dry, maybe a couple sprinkles here and there. But northwest Georgia, you guys are going to be seeing a little bit of rain late tonight, 1 a.m. as this cold front makes its way through. It's going to be starting to clear us on out though as we go into the morning time. Mostly clear skies going into 8 a.m. across most of our region except for northwest Georgia, but don't worry, they'll be clearing out by the time you go into your Wednesday afternoon, making for a very nice and comfortable day Wednesday. As a cherry on top, that cold front's going to be bringing in some colder and drier air, and this is your muggy meter. It's going to be dropping off a cliff going into your Wednesday afternoon here with dew points well into the 50s. This is wonderful to see. It's going to be lasting into your Thursday, and that's when things start ramping up once more in terms of humidity. But your feels like temperatures right now well into the 100s across most of the region here. Let's compare it to tomorrow, see how that's going to be looking. You're going to be skyrocketing up into the upper 80s. You know, fortunately, it's going to be your 100s here, but across most of the region here, we're going to be into the 80s and the low 90s for the southeastern part of our region. This is going to be the hottest part of our region as those dew points may try to hang on a little bit towards Greensboro and Washington when compared to Dalton. They're definitely going to be a little bit more dry as you go to the northwest in our region. Here's your tonight's low temperature. We're going to be 75 degrees, mostly cloudy tonight. And tomorrow, we're going to be rebounding into the 90s. Remember, those humidity values are not going to be hanging on for most of our region. We're going to be falling off a cliff. It's going to be mostly sunny, pretty dry, 93 degrees tomorrow. And here's your 7-day forecast. It's going to be quite cool on Wednesday. That's 69 degrees Wednesday night. That's the first time we've seen one of those in a couple weeks. So that is most definitely campfire weather. And as you go into Thursday and Friday, those humidity values are going to be retaining into the mid to upper 50s and maybe even going into the 60s going into Friday. But going into Saturday and Sunday, that's when things start ramping back up again. Those humidity values start increasing well into the 60s and maybe even 70s as some storm chances start increasing on Saturday and Sunday, as well as those upper high temperatures start increasing as well. We're going to be making for another run towards triple digits by the end of this weekend, starting your next week. Once again, I am student meteorologist Justin Williams. Have a great day and go Dogs.